Hi everyone, welcome to another episode of Geeky Gentlemen. I am Sid Partu. Joining me today is the one, the only Steve Baxi.
Hello, everybody.
Wait, hold on, wait. Did you get through the end credits thing?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So yeah, we'll just continue on from there. So Steve, why don't you tell the audience what you just told me?
Okay. So I watched a cam of this movie. I didn't see it in theaters. I'll get to my thing about theaters because I have a rant about that in a second. But I literally just finished the movie a minute ago, maybe a minute and 30 seconds now.
So this will just be like the most raw reaction possible.
Yeah.
Like not even recording a review after you walk out of the theater and go straight to your car like some people do. This is even more raw than that.
This is literally, I closed the window of the movie and then clicked accept on the call.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Yeah. So this will be fun. I don't know if I'm going to make any sense, but we'll see.
Well, it'll be weird because it'll be more fresh for you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So this is a review of the brand new Ratchet Clank film that's just come out in theaters that Steve Baxi did not watch in theaters. And I have a bone to pick with you about that then.
We'll talk about it.
Yeah. So I guess real quick, we'll go non-spoiler for a couple minutes and then we'll go spoilers, just because it's new. So immediate raw reaction then, Steve. Did you enjoy it?
I thought it was okay. I'll be honest, my expectations were really low because I've been watching the tomato meter for this thing drop like a rocket, and I'm like, oh god, it's gonna be a video game movie. I'm like, no, it's not. It's not great, but I liked it.
Yeah, that's how I feel about it too. It's not like an amazing film. Like it's not like, people keep comparing it to Zootopia. I'm like, it's not even trying to be anything kind of like that.
No, not even close. I mean, it's my big complaint with it is just, okay, now I want to play the video game.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's very much like, okay, this is them testing the waters before it's its own thing.
I could maybe agree with that. I don't know. Like it is certainly a commercial for the video games, but at the same time, I love the video games, so that works for me.
That's the thing about it is like, I want to play the video games, and there are video games, and it's almost the same. There's a couple of differences here and there that we'll talk about, but like it's kind of the same, and that's fun.
Yeah, and I don't know how the PS4 game is, because from what I understand, that's a reboot of the first game.
Yeah,
so
I heard there's some differences between the original first game, the PS4 game, and this movie, but I wouldn't know because I haven't played any of those games in a while.
Yeah, but man, I don't know. I really did enjoy this. I don't think it's an amazing film. I don't think it's trying to be an amazing film. I think it's trying to be, a fun movie that kids and families can enjoy and that would please fans of the franchise. And I think it succeeds at doing that. And that's all you can really ask a movie to do is succeed at what it's trying to do, right?
Yeah, I mean that's my thing with it is like this is not a movie that's trying to reinvent the wheel and define why video game movies can be good or like be this brilliant satire of sci-fi. It's fun. It's using those characters. It's like someone said, "Hey, let me just try and replicate why I find these games so enjoyable."
Yeah, and it's got a lot of that in it, and yeah, it's got elements of all those things, right?
Yeah.
It's a video game movie that doesn't suck, because guess what? It actually follows the source material for the games that we love.
Yeah.
It's a it has a lot of parody of sci-fi in it, but it's not like, it's not like Spaceballs. It's a parody movie, but it's at the same time it deserves just as much a place along the pantheon of sci-fi films, in my opinion.
Yeah, I agree with you. I mean,
it's kind of like all right, perfect comparison. It's kind of like Shaun of the Dead.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I totally see you there.
Yeah, that'd be my comparison for like what kind of parody, what flavor of parody this is.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's got some really good reference gags, and we'll talk about some of them because there's a Star Wars reference that was just hilarious.
There's actually like, all right, this isn't really spoilery because, I mean, it's just something you'll notice if you just sit and watch it. So, Steve, you will see two people, or one person and a large group of people do this with their video making. And it's George Lucas and kids on their computer who are making their very first film with Windows Movie Maker and using cheesy transitions. And they will do the cheesy box and wipes and weird transitions. Those are the only two people that use those transitions. And this movie used those transitions, so it's just got like a little subtle like nod to Star Wars.
That's fun.
I found really funny. If you really pay attention to it, you'll see. Like I started to notice all the wipes and stuff that you never see in professional films. So I really enjoyed that. Outside of Star Wars.
Yeah. No, that is fun.
But you were gonna say something. I'm sorry.
No, that's cool. Yeah, I mean it's got some really good reference humor, and part of the funness of this movie is the people making it very clearly like the games a lot, and they were just kind of like playing around with that universe, and they got some really big name actors in here to say lines or to do things that they typically would not do. Like it feels like this is a fun production before it's an amazing product, and that's okay with me.
Yeah, and all right, so before we move on from non-spoiler things, because I didn't want to do too long on this, but I was looking up some reviews of it, and one thing I predominantly heard is, well, if you like the games, you'll like this, but for general audiences, there's really no reason to go. And I disagree with that, but I'm not sure if that's because I'm blinded as a fan.
I was going to bring that up because the thing about it is, like, there's been so many good animated movies lately that if you're just going in for an animated adventure, I don't know if I'd put this above other, even like, stupid fun movies. But it is Ratchet and Clank, and it's one of those things where, like, okay, if I want to try and explain this series of games to a person, I'll probably just pick a clip from this movie.
Yeah.
But, like, it's a weird dichotomy.
Yeah, like, I definitely think that it's trying to please the fan base, which I appreciate. And I don't know, I can't think of anything specifically that would alienate a general audience. It seems like it's trying its best to stay true to the source material and also just appeal to a general audience. So I don't think that there's anything that should keep a general audience from enjoying it, but I don't know, man. I have my fan glasses on. I can't take them off.
I think maybe in places it can be a little pandery, particularly when it comes to Ratchet's backstory.
Yeah, I mean, it is very Luke Skywalker, but I think that's something that they added to the games over time.
That's probably true. I think more of it's just like, in places of this movie, they feel like they're throwing the fact that there's going to be a sequel at you, and it's like it's trying to force you to think about this movie as if it's a pilot. And that might not work for some people.
Fair enough, but that's just so in line with the tropes, though, isn't it?
Yeah, that's my thing with it. It's like, I think it's consistent.
Like, I don't know, it's weird. We've had a lot of movies like this lately. Deadpool definitely jumps to mind, where they're kind of commenting on the genre within the genre. Deadpool's like a much harder version that I could compare this to as a style of parody as well.
Yeah.
They're commenting on the genre while being part of the genre, and so they have to follow the same tropes of the genre. And I feel like people, like, I definitely heard this complaint a lot against Deadpool is, well, if it's commenting on that, how come it's not commenting on every aspect of that? Like, I heard people talk about, why don't they mention that Deadpool's girlfriend is totally a damsel in distress? Or why don't they make fun of that fact? And I'd argue that they do subtle things too. And I'd say the same thing for this movie. It's like they're not drawing attention to every single trope they're relying on. They're just relying on the tropes because those are the tropes of this genre.
Yeah. No, I agree with you. It's like Pacific Rim in that way as well, where like anything about that movie that people don't like is something about mech anime that doesn't work, and that's partly why the movie's so fun.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so I'm just... I think the reaction to this, the critical reaction, the negative critical reaction, is completely undeserved.
Yeah, I think people went overboard with this one.
And honestly, you were talking about the tomato meter. I have no faith in Rotten Tomatoes. I cannot think of a single Rotten Tomatoes score that I agree with.
Well, see, and I'll mention this about Rotten Tomatoes. The thing with Rotten Tomatoes and me is that it's not about being a gauge for a good movie. It's the thing I go to when I'm bored on a weekend and I want to see something. And so I just see, like, what's the freshest looking one of the movies. And I think that's how most people use it. And so for that type of audience to look at Ratchet and Clank's score, I think that sends a false signal. I don't think it's anywhere near as bad as that. Because it's like 20% right now, and it's not that bad.
I don't even think it's like a 50. Like, a 50 is plain average. I don't think it's anywhere near 50. I think this is, a good 60 to 70.
Yeah, I mean, we'll get to scores towards the end, but I think it's a good 70.
Yeah, that just seemed... And, those aren't our scores, so you guys still get the mystery. Woo.
Well, I mean, like, I'm sure if you do the math, you can convert and find out what our scores will be later.
Yeah, certainly. But, it works, because we'll use this to transition to spoiler territory, but... Yeah, I don't understand why there's such a backlash. Like, I hear people going, oh, well, it's such a trite, cliche thing. Like, that's the genre, though. That's such a non-argument to me.
Yeah.
If you make that argument, you clearly didn't get it.
Yeah.
I mean, the movie, since we're transitioning to spoilers, I'll spoil the first, 5 seconds of the movie. The movie opens with the little... establishing shot and location marker telling you bad guy speech in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And the bad guy starts a speech.
Yeah, no, that was perfect. Like, this movie very clearly understands what it is all the way through. And that's both good and bad, because there are places where it could be better, but very clearly it's not trying to be this brilliant lampooning of the sci-fi genre. It's just trying to play with those tropes.
Yeah, and so the main criticisms I'm hearing about the story, at least, I've heard things about the animation that I completely disagree with. I've heard things about the voice acting that I just generally disagree with. But the main complaint I've heard about the story is it's just so bare bones, basic, and I'm like, that's the genre.
Yeah.
It's the most quintessential version of this story that they could do and still have it be true to Ratchet and Clank.
Yeah, I mean, it's Luke Skywalker, like you said.
Yeah, it is. Ratchet's Luke Skywalker and Superman and, Goku all wrapped up into one.
Yeah, exactly.